ruling, we say,
hell no! We will not go back!
Let's give it up for Reverend Vicki Flippin from the First and Summerfield United Methodist Church. Come on up, Vicki.
So when they try to tell you that good Christians or good people agree and have always agreed with something like this Supreme Court decision, do not believe them. Many of us and our spiritual ancestors believe in the moral agency of God's children. I believe that God gave us wisdom. I believe that God entrusted us with these awesome lives and these awesome bodies. I believe that God gave us the capability to make our own choices and decisions about our bodies. And I, for one, choose to follow God before any court of men.
Senator Dick Blumenthal. Let's give it up for Senator Blumenthal.
0 Republicans voted to protect Roe v. Wade in the United States Senate. Every Republican voted for Neil Gorsuch on the United States Supreme Court. Every Republican except one voted for Brett Kavanaugh on the United States Supreme Court. Every Republican except one voted for Amy Coney Barrett. They have enabled this Supreme Court. And make no mistake, if Mitch McConnell becomes majority leader in the United States Senate, he has said he will lead a national ban on abortion. A national ban on abortion, which would destroy our safe haven here in Connecticut. The right to marriage equality, the right to contraception, the right to marry whomever you love. All of those rights, depending on the right to privacy, they're all on the chopping block with this court. So where we go from here is to the ballot box.
Please let's welcome Rabbi Brian Immerman from the congregation Michigan, Israel. Come on up, Rabbi!
It was white men, of course, many who owned slaves, who wrote the Constitution of these United States. And today, a majority of the Supreme Court justices decided that abortion is not a right because, as Justice Alito reasoned, a right to an abortion cannot be found in the Constitution or inferred from its provisions. And we're here to say, Justice Alito, of course it's not there because that document was written by white slave-owning men who have never represented a majority of the people of this country.
Those most marginalized in our society are most impacted by today's barbaric ruling. Friends, we will and we must take care of each other. We will not abandon people who are in need of abortions. We have been shown yet again today that the systems in place and the people in power do not protect us. They have not kept us safe, and they will not keep us safe. Look around. It is us who keep each other safe, and we must recommit to this task. We will not be controlled. I am sovereign in my body. I am sovereign in my soul. Because this is a decision that affects everybody, but we know that it is a racial issue. It is going to affect black people and people of color disproportionately. Because if you gotta go somewhere else to get an abortion, if you live in a fucked up state, you need those resources. You need access to resources. You need a car, you need money to get somewhere else to get this procedure done for you. So what does that mean? The people who don't got it, shit out of luck. So again, I want to say Black Lives Matter. Let them tell us what we get to do with our bodies. This is our choice. This court has linked this right to an abortion to other settled freedoms. Freedoms we thought were settled that are now truly threatened. The right to contraception, same-sex intimacy, and marriage.
We need to take this anger and this sadness and this disappointment with us and vote in November.
I hate to break it to you, but the Democrats are not coming to save us. This is on us to deepen our coalition work, to remain in the streets, but also to build the kinds of networks of support for those seeking access to abortion and reproductive care. Yes, there is a legal battle to be waged, but that cannot succeed without pressure in the streets. And to succeed at all, we have to recognize that reproductive justice is not only a woman's issue. It's a trans issue, and it's an issue for gender non-conforming people too. Reproductive justice demands free, universal, and comprehensive health care for all, and the autonomy to live and construct the lives, genders, and families that we see fit.
I feel very strongly that overturning Roe versus Wade today had very little to do with conservatives loving children or wanting to see babies live. I also don't believe they are very concerned with the safety or health of pregnant mothers. This is about power over women and controlling women's bodies. It's about keeping people down, especially poor and marginalized populations. If conservatives really cared about the lives of women, children, babies, and infants, they would pass meaningful legislation to protect, to give aid and assistance, and provide resources for all women and children. Conservatives claim to care about fetuses, babies, mothers, and children, but obstruct every policy that may help them survive, develop, and flourish, such as the implementation of universal health care, or to provide resources to help poor people get out of poverty. And this last one hits very close to home, to pass legislation to stop school shootings.
Not the court, not the state. Each of us decides our fate. Say it after me.
Not the court, not the state. Each of us decides our fate.
Louder.
Not the court, not the state. Each of us decides our fate. Not the court, not the state. Each of us decides our fate.
This year alone, 42 states either passed or attempted to pass laws attacking transgender rights and their access to health care. That's not right. In some states, such as Texas, parents are being criminalized for seeking gender-affirming care for their children. In any fashion, it's being called child abuse. Affirmation of trans and non-binary care is paramount to the lives of all LGBTQ+ persons. We need to stand together in unity against all of these attacks. Together, as a community, we're strong.
But my entire life that I know of, Roe has been the law of the land. I cannot believe that my grandmother fought a battle and won that I now have to fight again for my daughters, and so do they. I'm sorry to say, this is bullshit. Bullshit. I am very, very, very angry. Guns in this country have more rights than my daughter does, both of them, and that I do. I was born in the United States of America. My daughters now live in the United States of forced birth. Forced birth.
Congresswoman DeLauro could not be here, but she is fighting for your rights in Washington as I speak. Make no mistake. This decision puts women's lives at risk. The Supreme Court's action today is not about protecting life. It is about stripping power, control, and dignity away from women.
An abortion fund raises money for people who can't afford their appointment or are coming out of state for their appointment and the cost of travel is too high. So we want to be that resource for people in Connecticut and people traveling to Connecticut to get abortions. So Reach Fund Connecticut, reachfundct.org is our website. We would love to have you all join us. Thank you so much.
Friends, I am Pastor Jack from Spring Glen Church up the street in Hamden, and I am a pro-choice pastor. Don't believe the lies, don't believe the manipulation, don't believe the twisted versions of Christianity that say that you have to be against abortion, against women, against healthcare in order to be a Christian. God grieves all life that is lost. So thank God for abortion, an essential medical procedure that saves lives. Thank God for abortion. While forcing people without funds to take fatal risks to get medical care they need. Banning abortion doesn't protect religious freedom, it infringes the religious freedom of pro-choice people of faith and pro-choice non-religious people. Amen?
Roe v. Wade was overturned today, but the attacks on reproductive rights have been building alongside attacks on LGBTQ+ rights. This isn't a coincidence. As the cost of living gets higher and higher, we're being pushed to have children on stagnating wages. This is class war, and both the Democrats and the Republicans are complicit in this. 3 years after Roe v. Wade, the Hyde Amendment was introduced, a budget amendment that prohibits the use of federal funding for an abortion. The Democrats will talk big about reproductive justice, but they overwhelmingly vote to uphold this amendment every time they've had the opportunity to oppose it, meaning that abortion has been out of reach for poor women for decades. Voting isn't going to do it, and while I greatly admire work people do to get people access to abortion medication, to get people to out-of-state clinics, and to raise funds for people who need an abortion, we shouldn't have to do this. When we talk about protecting abortion rights and body autonomy, we need to look at how they were won in this country in the first place. In the United States, legal abortion was not won by voting. Abortion was won by hundreds of thousands of women and queer people organizing, going into the streets, and building a mass movement demanding free abortion on demand. The Democratic Party has spent the last 50 years allowing abortion access to become more and more restrictive, saying, vote for us, don't go into the streets, you can trust us. Well, Biden is president now, and look where we are. We need a new strategy, a strategy that understands why abortion was ever legalized. We're trying to build that movement here, so please join this coalition.
My name is Steph Quainu, and I'm a fourth-year student at the Quinnipiac School of Medicine and a member of our school's chapter of White Coats for Black Lives. Our organization aims to dismantle racism in medicine and fight for the health of Black people and other people of color. I am here to talk about why it is important for the medical community to stand up for the fight for reproductive justice. I came into healthcare to provide equitable medicine to everyone who walks through my door. And yet the Supreme Court has decided under what circumstances I am to provide this care. I am here to say no more. You have heard from so many speakers today about the various ways we can take action in this fight. Whether it's funding abortion funds, housing people seeking abortions from other states, or being out in the streets as you are today, there is so much more we can do, because remember, nobody is free until we are all free. people. We are wearing green today because Argentinian feminists won their own right to abortion just 2 years ago with a mass movement. Today, Biden sent riot police to defend the Supreme Court and at the same time condemned protest violence before protests even began. Yesterday, Stacey Abrams, once hailed as the star of the progressive wing of the Democratic Party, was talking about how police need to be paid more. The same police who will be the enforcers of anti-abortion laws. So if politicians want to stand with us, let us be clear. They must commit to aiding and abetting abortions no matter the consequences. Anything less is a photo op, like what Richard Blumenthal did today. So when you get the email from your Democrat politician asking you for money to fundraise off your pain and your rage, throw it in the trash and donate to an abortion fund. We do not need them. We need militant abortion clinic defense groups that will protect abortion patients from Christo-fascist attacks. We need mutual aid and travel funds for those traveling across state lines. We need to teach ourselves and each other to have safe, self-managed abortions at home because we will continue to have abortions regardless of what 6 unelected reactionaries say.
Yeah, my name's Justin Paglino, and I'm an MD. I went to medical residency over in Yale New Haven Hospital. I can tell you that all the people there have a deep appreciation for the importance of medical privacy. It's medical decisions are the most important decisions you make, and nobody else has any business interfering and telling you what decisions to make. I ran for Congress 2 years ago against Rosa DeLauro. I'm running again this year so that you can vote your values if you want to vote for health care as a right. Rosa does not support single-payer Medicare for all. And thank you all.